Okay, in this video we're going to look at labels. So we're going to go back to the card, this part here, and like we've mentioned before, one of the things that you can do is add a label. So we'll start off with a static label, so that's pretty simple. You'll say static label and then you can add anything to it. In our case we can maybe, here we know that we have 10 jokes at startup. We can probably actually just do something like this where we say get the jokes item dot get the jokes dot size, and then we'll say jokes. Right, so, and we don't want that. Let's see how that looks like. Okay, so let's refresh the page. I also removed this button because this is something for a future video. Yeah, so there you see my 10 jokes, which is a static label that we've added. Obviously this doesn't change. It happens on build time, and it's something that if you want to change it at runtime, you can't use the static label, and that's why we'll next look at how does the dynamic label works. Okay, so if we want to change it to dynamic or runtime data, you can use another method on here called dynamic label JSON RPC method name, because now we don't give it the value, we just tell it how you can get the value. So we'll create a method called get number of jokes told, and this is the method that will be called to render that part of the card. So back in our service we now need to add a method here somewhere. Let's say here get number of jokes told, and we return number of jokes. We can initialize that with 10 because we know that that build time has got 10 jokes. Okay, and then we obviously just want to, every time that we do a get joke, we want to increase the number like that. I'm also going to change the way in which this works so that doesn't affect the number of jokes told, because that's just streaming. So we'll just change that to be directly going there. So this should be enough to now dynamically fetch that label. Let's see. Okay, so now I've restarted. So we obviously start off with 10 jokes, and if I tell another joke, then it's 11. So it will keep count every time that this component loads. It will call that method to find the latest number. So let's see what we can do to actually just make this automatic, that you just stream the correct number to the screen as it changes. Okay, so back in our code we want to change this one to be streaming. Right, and we can actually just pass it the same method name, and then we just go and change that method name here to be a multi, because we now need to stream it. So we're gonna need a stream, and we'll just call it count stream and integer, and here we'll now return that. We'll still do this, but now we will also say on next and give it that, and then now we want the actual stream to take part in this again, so we'll revert this change. So this should be enough. Let's see what happens. Okay, so if I restart now, you can see it's already on 14 because we've started counting, and it should change to 15 because every 10 seconds I think we tell a joke. So that's in a nutshell what you can do out of the box without any front-end code to change the label. You have static, dynamic and streaming options. Next, in the next video, we'll look at how you can take total control of the inside of this card. So if you don't want links with labels, you want something totally different, how you can do that.